Is good, guys. I am here with my Smackdown after Mania review, and we get this started off with John Cena and Randy Orton having a promo. Now, it's really weird, and I wouldn't say weird in a bad way. It's just weird seeing this rivalry, John Cena and Randy Orton. John Cena's the bad guy, and Randy's the good guy. Never in my life did I think I would see these two be opposites of each other. I thought Cena would always be the good guy, Randy would always be the bad guy every time these two cross paths, because that's always what it's been. But Cena then sneaks attacks Randy. Randy then hits him with an RKO and holds the title up. And the match has been officially set. John Cena and Randy at Backlash. I really do like this match. It's the last time around, so I would like to see Cena against the likes of, like we got Randy Orton, a CM Punk, guys that he's actually faced before, and actually had a great history with. And then my most questionable thought of the night. Fraxium is on SmackDown, and they faced off against Los Garza. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Los Garza, and I like Fraxium. But can somebody tell me why Fraxium is not on Monday Night Raw to revive the Monday Night Raw tag team division? I think that Fraxium should have been on Monday Night Raw. They could have taken the Monday Night Raw tag team titles and they could have elevated it, since the tag team division on Raw is pretty much in shambles right now. I mean, outside of the War Raiders, the New Day, A-Town Down Under, which they've been turned into a joke, where, oh where, are they going to revive this tag team division? Because Alpha Academy, they're not reviving it. The New Day being tag team champions, too late. Their heel persona, when they first turned heel, has really worn off. So, not really a fan of all that right now. But Fraxium beats Los Garza. Can't really complain about that. Tiffany Stratton comes out. She says it's Tiffy time, and it is definitely Tiffy time right now. And Jade Cargill comes out, and we all thought Naomi and Jade was over. Jade then challenges Tiffy to a match. Tiffy ends up getting it. And then the match ends in DQ. Naomi comes out and attacks Jade. And then Tiffany Stratton ends up getting attacked by Nia Jax. What do I think about this? I don't think Jade and Naomi, given the extent of the storyline, could have just been a one and done thing. I think it was something that they were building on. I think this next match might be a one and done deal after that. But to go to the Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax thing, Tiffany Stratton never actually beat Nia clean. She cashed in on her. And don't get me wrong, I love the cash in, but y'all gotta think about it like this. Usually the person that lost their championship due to a cash in ends up getting some form of a rematch, and if the Money in the Bank winner that cashed in ends up winning the championship, so be it after that. But she never officially beat Nia. She was in a tag team with Trish Stratus at Elimination Chamber against Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. Hey, I just think this is something that they eventually, and probably sooner than later, it's better to do it sooner than later to have this happen now. And they probably could have had this beforehand, but, Charlotte Flair decides she wants to come back at the Royal Rumble. And then we had Jacob Fatu and Solo coming out. I really love seeing Jacob Fatu as the United States champion. And Solo is doing a promo saying, hey, if it wasn't for me, you guys wouldn't have Jacob. I brought him to the WWE. I did this. Pretty much saying it was him. When it's Jacob Fatu's moment. So Fatu told him he better get in where he fits in. And then LA Knight comes out. LA Knight wants, his championship back. And then Drew McIntyre ends up wanting a shot. And then we get LA Knight versus Drew later in the night. And I know there's some things that happen in between there, but I'll go ahead and say the outcome of this. It ends in a DQ. Solo took out LA Knight with a Samoan spike, and then we thought Damian Priest wasn't there. Priest attacks Drew, DQ, and then Fatu just takes out everybody. Fatu just said, screw it. Screw everybody. So my thoughts on this is I feel like there's going to be a fatal four-way, or I think this does just become a fatal four-way. Because look at it, Solo, Samoan spiked LA Knight, and then you got Damian Priest taking out Drew. Drew wins off of a disqualification. LA Knight's mad. Damian Priest got involved, and then Jacob Fatu attacked LA Knight and Priest. So I think with that being said, this sets up a fatal four-way. Not mad at it. And then we have a new women's U.S. champion, Zelina Vega. And she beats Chelsea Green. I don't hate this at all. Because Chelsea Green, she really didn't have like an actual feud. Her only feud was with Michin. And then she had the likes of B-Fab, which that wasn't really a rivalry. B-Fab was just there to even the odds for a little minute until Alba Fire came in. But Chelsea Green had a great run. And I'm not saying put her up to the main event scene yet. I would say give it some time. Still have her go after the U.S. belt. But Zelina Vega needed this. And we had been chanting. And we finally got it. Zelina Vega is champion. U.S. Women's Champion. And I hope she has a lengthy run. I hope she passes what Chelsea Green did. And then the moment most people were anticipating. And the crowd fucking killed this moment. They killed this. And not in a good way. Aleister Black returns and hits one of my favorite finishers in WWE. Black Mass. If you guys have never seen the move Black Mass, I suggest you go watch it. And go watch a compilation of it. Because it's such a good move. And they did the NXT Aleister Black. They didn't revamp him. They didn't give him a new theme song. They gave him the same exact persona. And I fucking loved it. As soon as I seen those candles, I said, yup, this is NXT Aleister Black. And I loved it. And then he Black Masked The Miz. And I will say, this debut / return, however you want to look at it, I want to say it's more of a return than a debut, but I know some people look at it as a debut, even though he already debuted on WWE years ago. He returned, and this is a far better return than what Rusev did. They had Rusev go out there and attack a tag team. They didn't do that. Aleister Black attacked The Miz. He didn't attack Melodome Miz. He attacked The Miz. And I really liked it, honestly. Can't really complain about that. And then we got to get to the main match. The match that probably everybody was anticipating. The match that everybody said should have been on night 1 of WrestleMania. That TLC match could have saved night one of WrestleMania. They really could have. And I think with it being said, that's one of the biggest fumbles WWE had. Now, yes, you could have. They probably saved some of these matches for the Raw after Mania and SmackDown after Mania because they probably, and this is just me not defending it, they probably needed something to keep fans interested for Raw and SmackDown. So they gave us stuff like Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky. They gave us things like Tiffany Stratton versus Jade. They gave us things like Randy versus Cena. They gave us things like what else? They gave us Rusev. They gave us Aleister Black. And people were saying, oh, well, Aleister Black and Rusev should have been Randy's opponent. No, not really. That just don't work. Randy needed a win. You can't have Rusev and Aleister Black losing their debut matches. I think Joe Hendry was a great pick. I honestly would have preferred probably Jeff Hardy or something like that if we were going with TNA guys. But I would say this SmackDown after Mania, if I had to give it a grade 1 through 10, I'd give it an 8. I really want to say like an 8. It was one of the better shows, just like Monday Night Raw this past week. It was one of the better shows that they've had in a while. And I think if Aleister Black would have gotten more of a pop, I really feel like we could have definitely given it like a 9, possibly on the verge of a 10. But that TLC match, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, they went back to the whole Nia going after Tiffany thing, which I really liked, which if Charlotte never came back, we could have possibly explored that option at Elimination Chamber. But this was a good SmackDown, and I'm happy to see Aleister Black back, and I want to see what they do next week. Just like when Monday Night Raw, I hope they keep this streak of good shows and giving us matches that we don't have to wait for the pay-per-view for. I would love for them to keep up these types of shows. I'm not saying give us a triple threat TLC tag team match every week, which that's something that Monday Night Raw would never do for some odd reason, even though they're on Netflix and they kind of don't have a time limit. I just think it's just crazy. It's crazy to me. And so that is my review of SmackDown. We will definitely be doing a couple more videos on certain topics, but stay with me, like, comment, and share, and I will see y'all in the next one. I'm out.